Number 14 on page 229 asks us to solve by factoring. We are given 3x squared equals 16x plus 12. Before we start factoring, our equation has to be equal to 0. It's usually easiest to factor if the leading coefficient a is positive. So I'm going to leave the 3x squared on this side and move everything over to the left. So minus 16x on both sides, minus 12 on both sides. And now my equation's equal to 0. I always check for a common factor. There's not one. There's nothing I can take out of all of those. When that's the case, I multiply a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 12, giving me negative 36. I need to find two numbers. Those two numbers need to multiply to negative 36 and add up to negative 16. Might take a little bit of guess and check, but those numbers are negative 18 and 2. And then there's lots of different ways you could factor from there. The way that I teach is to split up this middle term. So we've got 3x squared, and then I've got minus 18x plus 2x, and then minus 12. And then we factor by grouping. So we only look at these first two terms right here. I can take a 3x out of each of those. So we want to. And then we look at just the last two terms. I can factor out a 2, and it's a positive 2, so I'm putting plus 2. If I factor a 2 out of both of those, I'm left with x minus 6. These should match up. That's a good indication that you did it correctly. We are taking that x minus 6 and factoring it out. If I pull that x minus 6 out, I am left with 3x plus 2. So we have successfully factored this. It does ask us to solve, so we need to tell which x values make this a true statement. I have the product of two things equal to 0, so one of those things needs to be equal to 0. Set each one equal to 0 and solve for x. X equals 6, x equals negative 2/3.